Welcome to another episode of ODARK 30. Tonight's guest is a longtime friend of mine. Used to be my engineer, my driver.
Yes, sir.
Now he's a captain. Moving on up in the world. Been 22 years, almost 23 years now with Branson Fire. Matt Eaves. Welcome, buddy.
Yes. Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
always
How you
good to talk
been?
to you. I've been good, but busy. So,
Been busy. A little busy
yep,
in the world of fire things in Branson.
yep. Fire things are keeping us busy. We don't really have an off season anymore, just because
Was there
so
ever an
much
off
to
season?
do. Well, I don't know that there ever really was, but when
There's
I
always
first
one
started, it
season
was.
to the next season to the next season. The blue hair
Yes,
season, the snowbird season. It's an every time season, and it's Christmas year round. So
I was going to say they just rolled into Christmas. Well, they didn't just. November 1 is when we flip the switch here in Branson and become Ozark Mountain Christmas time
officially, I mean, it's year
officially.
round, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you could say that based on the way
Let's be
Branson does
honest.
things.
It's
But yeah,
Christmas year
yeah,
round in Branson.
yeah. In some form or fashion, you can find it.
So you are now a captain
Yes, sir.
at Station 4, brand new
Yeah,
station.
the brand new station been open a little over a year. Well, creeping up on 2 years now. May 1st will be excuse me, 2 years since it's been open. So it's kind of crazy.
And that's an engine company down there, correct?
Yeah, engine company down there by the Point Royale and all that area down there that has been pushing for a station for a long time.
Long
Finally got it
time.
done. So
And you guys got the new cool doors that open sideways, accordion style.
right, yeah, the bifold doors. Those are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Way faster than those roll ups.
And they look cooler.
They do it does make the station look pretty fire station-y, I would say. Much nicer than those roll up doors.
Right. Well, when I
Yep.
started the Branson Fire, I was stuck on an engine for a little bit, engine one downtown. And then I had the excellent opportunity to move into Station 2 to be a truckie
Best
and
spot.
absolutely, work with Matt, who was an engineer at the time, which for those people who don't know, that's the person that drives the fire truck,
Right. The driver.
the driver
Yeah.
operator.
Which I would consider the driver on the ladder truck the probably the best spot within our department for sure.
It's one of the hardest spots.
Yeah. Yep, one of the more complicated spots.
Not a lot of people know the behind the scenes of what a engineer on a truck does, but y'all toss a lot of ladders.
Yep. Toss a lot of ladders and set up the truck and push hose and talk to everybody on the radio. Just like a kind of just a you gotta have
There's a lot that goes into firefighting that people don't understand.
yeah.
An engineer on the ladder truck's got a lot on his plate when we roll up to a fire scene. They're tossing ladders, they're getting the stabilizers out, they're getting the truck set up if we're going to go do roof work. While the firefighters are getting their gear on, getting their saws warmed up and
Yeah, getting
staged.
everything ready. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that first 5 to 10 minutes of a scene for a truck company engineer is no joke.
pretty chaos.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah. Yep.
chaos.
Yep. But you can control that, and like we say in the fire service, the first 5 minutes, uh, makes the next 5 hours go well
Right.
if you do it
So
right. So
new station, new
yes,
crew.
sir. Yep.
Um, so this question might be a little hard for that one. Um, I don't know how much job time you guys have gone to down there in Station 4, but what's one story that always gets told when you're around your crew?
Well, we actually it's kind of funny. We with all the changes happening with Branson, we've got us old guys that are rotating out of the department, on retirement or whatever, and got a bunch of new guys coming in, so we're getting to know those guys. But yeah, I've had the pleasure, I suppose, of being one of those captains that's gotten a new guy a couple of times in a row. So one of the things I remember specifically was one of the guys that we had, my first new guy as a captain at Station 4, um, was he had a hard time, staying on his feet, getting a little too excited. So we talk about the first fire he had was one that he kind of tripped up the stairs, tripped up the, I think it's a walkway. I think it was a exterior walkway, and he was pretty dang excited because this was his first fire. So we laugh about that. And,
He
then
Joe Biden the stairs on the way up.
yeah, just a little bit. He recovered well, but he did just a little bit. And then yeah, so he had a couple of times. We actually fought quite a few little fires with him down there. And he's since moved on to a different station because, as new guys do, they want to run the calls, and Station 4 is not as busy as some of the other stations in the cities. He's moved on, but yeah, so those are kind of the funny ones. I actually have a new guy now, so the the stories continue because the new guys, just with their vim and vigor for the job and wanting to run the calls, they get a little overexcited. So the the same guy I was just talking about, he uh he forgot his helmet on a car fire, one of the few car fires we had run, and our other new guy that we had at the time was completely ready to go, so he got to take the nozzle from him. So that was a kind of funny one to razz. We've razz him about that one every now and again too. So
Don't forget
if
your
you're
gear,
not ready
boys.
to, yep, if you're not ready to come off the rig to work, you might get your nozzle taken from you, and that's what happened that day.
Now how long did you spend at Station 2?
Station two, man, that was 10 years. That's
Yeah,
the
you had a long
Station
run
two.
there.
Yeah, I was the firefighter there at Station two for a brief amount of time, and then got promoted to driver pretty quick after I think I spent a year and a half as a firefighter at Station two, and then got promoted to driver pretty quickly after that. So, but first 11 was at Station three out in the West Side Ghetto to introduce me to the fire service.
So what's a story that always gets told if you guys go do a little training at Station 2? What's a story that gets told over there a lot?
Oh gosh, there's so many
So
because
many.
I mean some of the we had a lot of the Station 2 stories have revolve around those firehouse pranks, the things that we like to do to each other to keep the job interesting in those 24 hours we work. Um,
Do remember
but
hearing a story several times, and I don't remember if this was Nate telling the story about a tornado siren.
that was,
That was
yeah, that
Station
one,
1.
actually, that one was Station 3.
Oh, it was Station
That
3?
was, yeah, that happened at Station 3. Yeah. That was a crew out there that somebody decided it would be funny to hook one of the storm sirens up to an alarm clock in the ceiling of the bunk room.
Stuck it in the ceiling.
So stuck in the ceiling, set it for random hour of the morning, and you can imagine that how much we enjoyed the tones going off in the middle of the night to wake us
Oh,
up,
yes.
let alone having a
A
storm
storm
siren
siren.
blaring at you and not being able to find where it's coming from. So, oh
Oh,
yeah, that one
I
was,
always
yeah.
like that one.
Oh yeah, there were some pretty upset people, including the captain on duty, who was adamant that heads were going to roll on that one. So,
And
and to
everybody
this
turned
day,
out
there's
fine. It was fine. Did you die? No.
yeah, nobody died. Nobody
It's
died.
fine.
There may have been a few people running into walls and lockers, but nobody
Might have been a
nobody
few
died, or
pants that needed changed, but it's
yeah,
fine.
no permanent injuries. Maybe a few deep-seated scars, but they'll be all right.
Some trauma, but you can talk it out
Some
later.
Yeah,
It's fine.
exactly. That's why we do stuff like this. We talk about it, we joke about it, and we move on.
That's
But
right.
then continue to pick on each other. So
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you don't, then if you're not getting
yeah.
picked on, they probably don't like you. So,
Well, and you beat me to it because I was just getting ready to say the same thing. When you realize you've been ignored at the fire station, that's when you're running into trouble.
yeah, it's
Getting
time to
picked
move
on
on.
and yeah, if you're getting picked on and messed with, it means you've kind of found your spot.
So that brings us to so you talked about having a couple of new guys since being at Station 4 as a captain. I mean, this could even go back to your engineer days as well. What's either the worst rookie mistake or maybe now the funniest rookie mistake that you've seen over years?
Oh gosh, the ones that keep the one that I refer to quite often, and we talked about the forgetting your helmet coming off the rig or doing that kind of stuff, was I think one of the funniest ones was because it didn't do any damage, didn't do any harm, anything like that. But it was one of the funniest because it made me laugh. Had a guy that was just starting out, and we were got a structure fire heading there, got ready to go, come off the rig. I'm pretty sure I was I don't remember if I was an engineer or a firefighter at that time, but obviously senior to the guy that I was working with. And we get ready to go. You know, we've been drilling on gear, been drilling on everything to make sure that first fire, you know, you're ready to go. So I look back at him. I'm like, "Hey, you ready to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're ready to go. All right, let's plug in. We'll go." And we're getting ready to crawl in the door, and all of a sudden I hear this loud like, "Hold on!" And he had forgotten to turn his air bottle on. So as soon as he plugged in his mask, he pretty well sucked it to his
Sucked it to
face,
his
and
face.
yeah, and absolutely had that freak out moment of I have no air, and so immediately unclipping and having to have me stop. So I still talk about that one. Actually, I still he's not no longer on the fire department. He's moved on, but every once in a while when I run into him, we or see him at something, we'll laugh about that one just to remember how green he was when he started. So,
To his face.
oh yeah,
I mean, it's instant. Like, ooh.
oh yeah, I'd be lying if I'd never done it before. Where you just forget or you turn it off too soon or something, and you go to take
Well,
that
like
first
you were
breath and
saying
it's
earlier, that
not
that
there.
first 5 minutes at a scene is pretty chaotic because you're getting a lot of things done at the same time.
Yeah.
And once you're ready to go, it's like, do I got my helmet on? Do I got my mask on? Do I got my hood up? Do I got my
Hmm.
gloves? Are they still in my pocket? They sitting in the rig? What?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's for new guys, that first one is like a big deal, because we they've never experienced that before. So we get those guys ready to go, but that first one's a whole different animal to make sure you're ready. So,
Absolutely. So, what's one of those shifts that went completely sideways, but in the long run, it either worked out or like an absolute chaos scene or day, but it's one of those that you can sit back and laugh about now, sitting around the kitchen table.
yeah, probably one that just came up recently, and this isn't anything overly exciting or dramatic, but you'll probably remember from your days working down here is when we're creeping into the time of year that we're having right now with the cold and transitioning into the cold weather and people turning on heat or uh, not turning on heat or whatever they're doing. What's if you remember what's one of the things that likes to happen when the weather gets cold that people don't think about? If you remember, probably those freezing sprinkler
The
systems and everything.
sprinkler pipes, oh, all the
Sprinklers,
theaters.
sprinkler
Oh my
systems. Oh
word!
yeah,
Or the
yeah.
hotels.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I guess people just don't think about till it's time, or till something happens. But yeah, we just talked about this one the other day. I was talking to now Chief Bogle,
Yeah,
who
Chief
is
Clark.
yeah Chief Clark Bogle, their battalion chief on my shift. So
Oh, Clarky.
shout out to him. Yeah,
I was just
but
thinking about we used to run down to the parking garage all the time from
yeah,
Station One for frozen pipes.
yeah, but yeah, we had one of those like bitterly cold days, and it was just sprinkler break after sprinkler break after sprinkler break, and it was just that day was I think we looked back in the logbook, and I think there were like 63 calls for service for sprinkler breaks, and then pending. We didn't have enough guys and rigs to go to everything. We just had things pending, and as soon as you'd clear one, they'd send you to the next one and send you to the next one. So it was just one of those days where you were an ice block and stayed cold and wet all day, but we were doing it together and we were laughing and having a good time when we had the opportunity to. And looking back on it now, those are some of those like bonding bonding times with the guys because no one else knows what you're going through except for the guys you're working with. When you experience stuff like that with the guys, it gives you something to look back on and think about. Again, like you're saying, the stuff that we talk about around the kitchen table and laugh about now is like,
You trauma bond after you squeegee the bejesus out of several hotel floors or a theater
absolutely,
floor, the carpets. You just running
yeah,
squeegees back and forth. It's so
running
awful.
squeegees, picking up waterlogged boxes and moving them from one spot to the next, or nice wet cold water down the back of your jacket, while you're working. So anyway, It's
They're fun times to look back on. So what's that one moment for you? And I know you started the job when you were in college.
yeah,
You
I
were
did.
you're at C of O, College of the Ozarks, and working for the college fire department down there. What's the moment that made you realize this is it? This is what I want to do, dude.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy because I never thought of myself as doing this job ever. I didn't have that, didn't have the family members that were firemen ahead of me, and didn't have that go to the fire station thing or see the big red fire trucks and be like, that's something I want to do one day. I didn't have that. And growing up, I was a I was an art guy. I was a left brainer, as they say, the creative type, and go sit down and draw pictures and all that. So my goal when I got to college was I'm going to get an art degree and I'm going to move on and do something in the art realm of things. The guys that I met the first summer that I was at college were part of the fire department there. I didn't hang out there at the firehouse with them over the summer. I just got to know them. And then as the semester kicked off, they invited me to come train, for that what they call their training semester. Started training with them, getting to know those guys even more, and the guys that were in the firehouse, and it was that moment that just clicked. You hear guys talk about all the time. Is like I was hooked, and my trajectory changed from that point on. So back that would have been 1997. Tells you how old we are.
Late 1900s, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Yep, back in the day. But yeah, 1997, 98 was the turning spot for me when I decided the fire service was pretty dang cool and something I wanted to pursue from then
That's
on.
cool.
So
I don't think I ever knew that. That like I knew you were there at the college, but I didn't know that was like the turning point for you.
yeah, like I said, it was never just a thing that I was had on my radar. It became something that I grew to love, and talking to my dad one time is I kind of told him I was like college was kind of weird, and he said, well, the college I didn't do what I had set out to do. He's like, well, did college help you find what you wanted to do? And I said, well, yeah, I did. They said, well, then it was a good thing.
It worked out.
It worked out.
So
So
what's
yeah,
I've yet to be down there to hang out with y'all at Station 4. I need to make a trip down there.
yeah. It seems like
Um,
every time
every
I see
time
that
it's
you're
either
in
you're
town.
busy or I'm
I
busy or
I think
it's
this
just the
last
way it
time
goes.
you were here and I was out of town. So,
Oh yeah, I didn't even know you were out of town that time.
yep. So
So new station. Do you guys have any spoken rules at the house?
mm, I mean, everybody just kind of knows just the things that we need that we want to do, and I mean, I don't know about the unspoken other than just there's certain things that are kind of I guess you would maybe call them almost sacred. The grill outside being one of those is, you know, anything related to the kitchen and cooking is one of those like, hey, if you use it, clean it. If you mess it up, you know, fix it, whatever. But that's really about the only thing out down there. I mean, we've got a pretty good relationship between the crews down there, so I think the biggest thing is guys just get a little bent out of shape when the cooking instruments are left a little out of sorts. So, which is kind of
Yeah,
funny.
I think most of the houses were like that because there were the certain people that cooked all the time that would
Right.
get a little bit out of shape.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
well then, what with the new house? And like, do you guys have any superstitions or running jokes that you got going on right now, or just a tradition that only your crew does?
no, my crew doesn't have any necessarily traditions other than actually the one thing we do still do, and I think we might have done this when you were with us, is the Sunday breakfasts. Um, and I think that's a big time for just getting around everybody's in the kitchen cooking together and what something that we do that's kind of unique to our shift is that we invite our battalion chief on our Sunday shifts to come have breakfast with us. So, you know, we uh, we like him and
We like
enjoy having
Clark.
him. Yeah, enjoy having him around, and and we joke and laugh about that, but it's not always true with those chief officers. That you have a relationship with them that you want them to come hang out in the fire station with you.
Right.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
it, and
usually
I
the
and
BC shows up and it's like, hey, look busy. The BC's here.
yeah, or you don't, or you don't necessarily want that guy around because whatever. But yeah, so that I think that's kind of a unique tradition that my crew does for sure is we make sure on those Sunday shifts that we include him in the breakfast, and he pitches in and brings something. It was kind of funny because for a while we'd tell him, hey, breakfast Sunday, remember? He's like, oh, what can I bring? And we'd always be like, juice. And he just got, he's like,
Juice.
I can bring something else, guys. We'd always take care of the food, and we'd like, just show up, man. We'll take care of it. But he'd always want to bring something. So we're like, yeah, just bring some juice. So yeah, but yeah, no, he's a good one. So yeah, that's kind of the tradition that as far as my crew does that we like to do. So that's a
Yeah,
good one.
I always liked those days. They were nice.
Yeah, and I'm one of those, and I'm one of those officers that I like to give my guys the Sundays to just kind of recover and relax a little bit because despite that we don't run all the calls that some of the other stations do, we do stay fairly busy, and you never know what your shift is going to be like. So I try to give the guys a weekend day, whether it be a Saturday or especially a Sunday, just to we do a little bit of our normal stuff, but try to give those guys a break and let them kind of chill throughout the day, watch football, take a nap if you want to do it, relax. As long as the other stuff's done, I'm good with doing some of that kind of stuff because we work pretty hard the rest of the time.
So, in line with the Sunday morning breakfast, who's the best cook in the house right now? And what's their go to? What's their signature?
Oh man, I would say I would actually want to, not to pat myself on the back, but I would actually give myself some pretty good props about cooking. But my engineer, Justin Wortham, is a pretty dang good cook too. He does a lot of good cooking, especially with skillet meals. He likes to cook on cast iron, so
Okay.
that's one of the things that we like to cook on. But yeah, he's got a couple of go-tos that he makes that are pretty good. He makes a baked chicken parm meal that he's kind of created. It's pretty dang good. My go-to is enchilada mac. That's what I make. If you remember the enchilada, I don't know if you remember the
I do
enchilada
remember
mac.
that.
So
I do remember that.
yep, yep, enchilada mac. I can't take credit fully for the recipe because being an original because that one came from now Chief Bame. Um, and did you work with him?
He
Was
was briefly my captain at
okay.
Station Two right before Nate got promoted.
Okay. I thought I remembered that because it was funny that on my Facebook memories the other day popped up a picture of you and Marcus Blevins and Jared Novak in your black t-shirts and black duty pants standing by the truck in your recruit time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The
I'm
three
pretty
of
sure
us went through the academy together, and one's a captain now.
they both are now.
They're both
Marcus,
captains now.
yep, Marcus just got promoted to captain when Captain Nivens retired. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, a lot of changes around Branson since you've been there.
See, I always liked the holiday meals that we used to do
Yeah, get
when we'd
together as a
have like,
shift.
all the stations come over. They usually came over to Station Two just because we were a little bit more central located. But I always liked that because we'd have our significant others come over. We'd have the kids come over. I mean, we just had a full house of people, fire trucks, and food. And it was
Absolutely, and
always I love doing that.
that's one of my favorite times too is just uh, having everybody in the firehouse together. So
Yeah, I always like working holidays. Yeah, it kind of sucks because you're away from your family and stuff, but you're also still working with your buddies. And we always made a point to include the family as well. So that was always nice.
well, and I think it's important. I've always thought it was important to include the families and see what we do and see where we work and get to experience some of that kind of stuff. Because us as crews we are a second family to each other, and we're gonna, if know, we don't get to know the family members of our crew members, and when they are like struggling or going through things, it's a lot easier for us to help them out and listen to them when we know their family members and what they've got going on too. So
Oh, for sure. I remember the time
I
that your wife brought your boy into into the station because he cut his knee.
Oh
And
yeah,
she wasn't sure what to do, and we cleaned him up and bandaged him in the kitchen sink.
yeah. And what do? We said, do not take him to the hospital. Bring him
Do
here.
not take him to the hospital.
Bring him here. We'll take care of it.
We
So
got you.
yeah, yep, yep. So yeah, that's it's all of that stuff. It's like, you know, I've how many times have I've been called by um, significant others or family members of guys I've worked with to ask favors, help with stuff. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
just
I've
what we
been
do. That's
gone
just what we
from
do.
there, what, 6 years now?
Holy crap, it's been that long.
I think so, yeah. We
Wow.
left in almost 6 years because we left in 2020
Okay.
and moved
Yeah, we're
up here.
creeping up on
So,
26. Yeah.
but I still talk to you and Nate and Jared quite often.
Okay, good.
I mean, we still reach out to each other quite a bit. You always let me know when you're up in KC way for your boys soccer. We always try to get together when we come down, but it doesn't always happen with schedules and stuff. Like last time I went, we were just down there for Thanksgiving, and we saw Brian's coffee truck
Oh, there
up
you
by
go.
Coles up in Branson Hills there, and stopped by to get some coffee. Fortunately, Brian wasn't there, but I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, it'll be something else. Something else you can work on next time you're down.
Right, right. So, despite the families and the good times and the good food and the good camaraderie that we have in the fire service, it's also a hard job to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I know you have them. I have them all the time. Uh, a call that is stuck with you that kind of plays over and over in your head on repeat. Just one of those tough calls that it's hard to forget about.
Yep. I have a handful of those that every once in a while, and it's weird, because I think it comes with being in the same area for so long as, and I'm sure you probably did it from time to time when you were down here. You'd ride around, even when you're here now, maybe, you're riding around town, you're like, you remember those calls, that you remember, you drive by somewhere. Like, I remember a call from there. I remember a call from there, or what happened over here,
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, for
you
sure.
know, yeah. And I think about some of those things every now and again. But but yeah, and I think the some of the worst calls are the ones that you kind of feel helpless on, the ones that because we our job is to show up and fix the problem. And when you show up on a call and you kind of feel like there's not a whole lot I can do, uh, it kind of leaves you with that feeling of helplessness, and you want to try to fix that. So, but yeah, I actually have one. I think the one that I remember the most is, or one of the ones I remember the most is a car wreck I worked in. I don't know if you were on the department then or not, but we worked a car wreck where a guy split his car in half basically, and just rolling up on the call and looking to see what we had. We knew it wasn't going to be good, and and all we could really do for this person was just extricate and then wait. I mean, the biggest thing, and some of the things that bother me the most is when you have to deal with those family members that are there.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and that one was a pretty bad one where we had to talk to the family members and, keep them away from, as much as they want to be there. Um, they can't, So those ones are the toughest ones for me, I think, are the ones where you have to, not so much like the patient that you're dealing with or the incident that you're dealing with. It's the ripple effect of what that incident is going to cause. Yeah. Were you there? Were you on my crew when we dealt with the one on 65?
Yes.
Were you on that one? That's one. I don't know. That's one that, like, every time I drive over that spot, I think about kind of flashes in my head.
Oh yeah. I just thought
So
about it
yeah,
just last time we were down there. We drove by that spot, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this.
yep. And I think those are the kind that, it just you'll just for me. I don't know how it is for you, but it's for me. It's just it. There's never really just anything that it's just sporadic when something pops up in my head.
Right.
Uh, or like you said, when you drive over a certain spot, or you drive past a building, you just kind of have those memories pop up in your head. So
Oh yeah, memories. Oh yeah,
yep,
remember
yep.
that.
But yeah, and I think that's one of the things that. you got to think about when you do this job is it's okay to talk, do the
Right.
kind of things and I think part of this podcast thing that you're doing is pretty awesome deal with, having being able to just kind of talk and talk through and just, you know, open up about some of that kind of stuff because if you hold it all in, it's gonna come back to bite you at some point. So we
Right.
lose too
My
many
my
guys.
wife says it's my therapy now.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I would 100% agree with that in some form or fashion because, we lose too many guys every year for that don't deal with it or deal with
Right.
it the wrong
Oh
way,
yeah, for sure. For sure. So with the hard calls, like what keeps you showing up?
I think the ones that we do make that difference and we do uh, see that positivity. Also, I think for me being doing it as long as I have is I felt myself transitioning and enjoying more of the teaching side of things and the mentoring side of things and talking to those new guys and getting those new guys like prepared for what they're going to see within this career. So because if these guys are these some of these new guys have never experienced the fire service, never experienced emergency services at all. So that in my mind, some of that keeps me coming back, despite the fact that I just love getting on and off the rig every day. I still have the love for the job of hopping on the rig and listening to the blinky blinks and the woo woos and heading down the road. And
There's
uh,
there's something magical about screaming down the road
absolutely,
in a
it's
gigantic fire truck with lights and sirens going.
yeah. Well,
And
and yeah,
every kid and every grown man is staring at you because it's cool.
yeah,
It's just it's
absolutely, man.
magical.
It's a great thing, and I think if I ever got to the point where I did not enjoy that anymore, that would be my indication that it would be time to look at something different. But I keep coming back because I still have that love for the job and love for what I do,
Right.
and enjoy hopping on and off the rig. And then I have no plans anytime soon to move into any type of job that's within our department that's going to keep me from doing that. So because
But
I,
we
I like
also
it.
on the flip side though, there's days you're like, "God, I don't want to get up and go to the firehouse this morning
Oh
or
yeah, I feel you.
all the
Oh yeah.
time." So have
Oh
you ever
yeah.
had the one of those it could have been a moment or you're not even on shift or something, you're like, I don't get paid enough for this. I don't want to do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it runs through my head quite a bit. And it really has nothing, it really has nothing to do with the calls or running calls for
It's
me. For
it's
me,
not
it's
the
the
third or fourth call to the old folks home in the same shift, and you're like, not
well,
again.
luckily for me, I don't have any old folks homes in District 4.
You
So
just have old folks in
we just have
District
the
Four.
old folks.
Yes,
Oh yeah. Make no mistake, there are those nights where the second or third time up, after trying to go to
run into
bed.
that apartment complex over by Station Two for like the
Yeah.
fourth
Or
time that day. Find a
yeah,
lift
actually,
assist.
yeah. Where we run uh, in Station 4 is that the nightly rentals. There's that whole area called Chateau Mountain Cove, Chateau Mountain
Yeah.
area that's littered with those nightly rental cabins. And I cannot tell you the amount of times we've run to those places for burnt bacon, burnt
Yep. Fire
sausage,
alarm.
burnt whatever. And so I will agree a handful of times where you're like, okay, I'm done doing this now. You know, yeah. And as I get older, I joke with I got a guy on my crew, one of my new guy right now. He's 24 and I'm 46. He's raring to go every single time the tones drop. It doesn't matter if it's our station or not. He's headed to the door, and just
Right.
because he's ready to go. And I'm
It's
like,
like an excited golden retriever. It's fine.
absolutely. And I'm like, dude, just it's okay to just relax a little bit. And then, as a matter of fact, the other night we were getting ready to shut it down for the night, and I said, "Good night. Hopefully, I'll see you in the morning." He's like, "Oh, the night's still young. You never know." I'm like,
You shut your
"Knock it
mouth.
off. Knock it off."
I was talking to my friend Justin on the first episode, and he was shocked that I was like, one of our superstitions. I don't know if it was unspoken or what it was, but like we didn't go to bed before 11.
Right.
And Matt would always snore in the chair, or we'd all be playing Call of Duty or something on our phones together. But we didn't get up and leave to the bunk room until 11. We just didn't do it. And I don't know why it always stuck in my head. I'm like, if I cross that threshold into the bunk room before 11, our night's going to be crazy. And I couldn't ever, like, I don't understand why that always stuck in my head. I have no idea why,
Or why it always came true. Because
or
dang
why
it,
it
it
always
always
came true.
did.
Right.
It was never failed.
If somebody went to the bunker room, we were going to run all night. And I don't understand. He's like, there's no way. I was like, no, dude, I swear it's real.
Yeah. Well, and then as soon as you met at the apparatus, when that call dropped, everyone is looking at that guy going, "This is your fault." So,
I
yeah.
like to tell people stories about my time in Branson because I had such a fun time down there. I had great guys that I worked with. I love Station Two. Um, I mean, there's calls that we could talk about all night long, and some of them are pretty funny. Some of them you probably don't want people to know about.
Oh yeah. I got a funny one.
One call in particular that that we can't take that call
Oh,
was always just absolutely hilarious to me.
yeah. Yeah, that
And
one actually gets brought up more times than you would think now.
well, I'm sure it does because it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It wasn't for me at the time, but it's one of
it
those,
was
like you
for
said.
everybody else.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, but it's definitely one of those you can say that you sit around and talk about it and laugh about it now, because at the time it was almost a code brown emergency.
Almost a code brown. We had a couple of calls at Station One with Brian driving, and we because Station One you have to back into the station. It's not a pull around. We were cool guys with two doors on either side, and so we had to stop traffic on the strip and back in. And I remember we rolled out. I mean, it was late or early in the morning, whatever it was. Probably after the ODARK 30. Um,
Very possible.
and he backed in, and we opened the doors to get her crap out and reset her gear. Brian's just sitting at the wheel, like not moving. I'm like, dude, you can get out and go to bed. And he goes, oh, don't we have to go? No, dude, we just got back. He goes, well, we did? Yeah, and you drove us. How do you not know we just went to a call and came home?
Oh man, yeah, yeah. There's several guys that you'll talk to that have said that before. They'll. I think Daryl was one of the funniest. He'd wake up in the morning and be like, "Hey, it was good to sleep all night." Like, Daryl, we ran 3 calls overnight and you drove us to those calls. We did? Yeah.
That's absolutely a Daryl answer to the
Oh
whole
yeah.
question.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about him, and I love that guy. He's one of my favorite guys to work with, and obviously, I'm sure now he's retired as well. We've lost some of those older guys to retirement since you've left, but I think for his last year, or I can't remember, last year or two, he transferred to truck drive for Dave, and because he thought that was where he was going to sleep all night, and so he was on A shift, I was on C shift, and it was literally every morning. The first thing out of his mouth as soon as he walked around the corner was, "Hey boys, did you sleep all night?" And most of our times, our answer was like, "No, no, Daryl, we did not sleep all."
He always he always had the best mood. He was always happy. He always had a like, how are you? It didn't matter who you were. It was how you doing? How you been?
Oh, dude,
How's
that
your
guy would give you
family?
the shirt off your back. That guy was willing to help anyone.
Oh yeah,
Should say
absolutely.
is willing to help. Don't want to talk about him like he's dead. He's not dead. Uh,
Daryl, you're not
he
dead. Just so
no,
you know, you're not dead.
not
Okay,
dead. At least as far as I know. So no,
you're not dead, Daryl.
that guy's one of my all-time favorite guys to work with. So he was cared about everybody, wanted to see everybody do the best they could, and give you the shirt off his back. And then some.
So in the spirit of the show, what is your best ODARK 30? Nothing good happens after midnight call.
Mm, best as in worst, or
Hey, it's dealer's choice.
okay? Because I have a handful, but uh, and one of my favorite ones, and I don't honestly remember the time of day. I know it was nighttime, and this was with you, and I can't sit here on a podcast and talk to you about the fire service without remembering the machine gun nursing home call. Do you remember?
I do remember. Every
Yeah.
time I show up to the house, that's what Nate tells me they're talking about.
Oh gosh, one of my all-time favorites because, of course, trying to maintain professionalism, and I got you standing either beside me or behind me. I can't remember, just out of the sight of the patient, and they're making some sound that sounded just like a machine gun, and all you're doing is pointing your fingers at me like a machine gun and moving them every time he makes a noise, and it was absolutely hilarious.
I think I can't remember if that was the same call where we walked in and the dude made a slug trail. Was that the same call? It was the same building,
Yeah,
but
well,
the dude made a slug trail to the bathroom, and I walked in and immediately made a U-turn and walked right back out.
I
I'm like, nope.
I don't think that was the same call
I think that
because
was.
I'm pretty sure the call we're talking about. I mean, I think that was a pretty basic call. I don't remember why the guy was making the noise he was, but it was just like gig 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 sound. And every time he did that, you would hold your fingers up and point them at me and kind of shake them like you're shooting a machine gun. And I could not handle it. I was losing it. So I mean,
When you
what else?
have free machine gun sounds, you use said free machine gun sounds.
I mean, I'd be upset if you didn't.
I didn't want to
So
waste the opportunity
you,
of.
you never waste the opportunity. So, and that's one of the things that's absolutely hilarious about this job is we could be on on somebody's worst day and making jokes or doing funny stuff just to keep us sane.
Well, yeah, Darren and I at Station One, when we were partners on Engine One, had an old lady singing Chumbawamba, I Get Knocked Down.
Amazing.
And we just kept repeating things to her, and she just kept going and going and going. That was hilarious. She walked outside and she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "What's in the sky?" We're like, "The sun." She's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Oh my God, what are those moving at the end of the bed?" Those are your feet. But
Yeah,
yeah, Darren and I had her singing the Chumbawamba song. Well, she wasn't singing. We were helping her through the song by asking her questions, and
that's
she just
amazing.
kept answering.
Yeah. Hey, you got to work with what you got.
You got to work with what you got.
Yeah. So, and yeah, and another one that I can remember is this one. I know this one was after midnight, getting called to a car wreck, and we show up, and the dude's car is jacked up, flipped on its side, up above or on a rock wall or brick wall. I can't remember for sure. And he's sitting already out of it, but sitting a little ways down. We walk up to him to try to check on him as we do, and we walk up. It's like, "Sir, looked like you were in a little bit of a car accident." He just looks at us, goes, "I wasn't in a car accident." We're like, "You weren't?" He's, "No." It's like, "Is that your car over there?" He's like, "Oh God damn." So it was like he had no clue that he had just been in a car wreck, and we had to let him know that, yes, sir, you actually have been in a car wreck. So
Are you sure?
yeah. So, but yeah, that was direct quote from him. It was when we walked up to check on him. So
Quoted.
he did not believe that he was in a car wreck,
Oh, I mean,
despite what it looked.
sometimes you just don't know.
No,
There are those
you don't know
moments
what
you just don't
you
know.
don't know what you don't know
You don't
until
know
you
what you
know.
don't know. Right.
So,
Absolutely.
but but yeah,
Well, buddy, that's about all the questions I got for you. Unless you want to just tell more stories.
I mean, I've just enjoyed chatting with you. So it's uh it's always good to catch up, and I think you remember from when you left Branson Fire, it was probably one of the hardest guys to leave that I've ever had to watch walk out the door. So if you
It
remember
was
that
a it
conversation we
was
had,
a hard it was a hard decision. It really was. And I miss firefighting. all the time. And people are like, "Why'd you leave?" Well, I had a family to raise. I wasn't making any money.
Right.
Um,
Well,
so
there's just those certain guys that you click with in this job, and I have a short and distinguished list of guys that have been that, and you're right up there towards the top, buddy. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, so it was definitely wasn't fun to watch you walk out the door and go, but obviously completely understood where you were going. But
Right.
um, glad we've been able to maintain the friendship and stay connected and caught up. So
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight
yeah,
on
for
ODARK
sure.
30.
Yeah, it's been fun. So I'm excited to listen to some other ones and see where this goes. It takes you. So excited for you, bud.
Absolutely. All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. I don't think we will stop yet, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.